This next group of consonants we'll cover are called the sibilants or fricatives, and that term simply means they make kind of a hissing sound. So all four of the letters in this group do make a kind of a hissing sound. They are found here, sibilants or fricatives, and the first one is written with the English letter S, but with an accent mark on top. See that diacritical mark over the top of the S there, that accent mark? That indicates that it is a palatal sibilant. And remember, all the palatals are formed with the teeth coming fully closed together. So this one, this S with the accent mark over the top, makes a hissing sound with the teeth fully closed together. So it sounds like shh, shh. Teeth should be clenched, touching each other, fully closed together. Shh. As in the English word ship, that's a pretty good example actually in that case, with teeth fully closed together, ship. The Sanskrit example is the word Shiva, Shiva, Shiva. Teeth are fully closed together to form that word. The next sibilant is quite similar to the first one, but different subtly, and I'll describe the difference in a minute. It is written with the S character, but with a dot underneath instead of an accent mark over the top. So this has a different diacritical mark on the S, and therefore it makes a different sound. And this one is in the retroflex class. It's a little tricky to see how it falls in that class, but basically the difference between this first one with the accent mark over the top and the second one with a dot underneath, the difference is that the second one, which sounds like sh, it sounds almost exactly like the first one, except that for this one the teeth are slightly apart. So for the first one, sh, as in Shiva, with teeth fully closed together. The second one, sh, as in Vishnu, with teeth slightly opened. Vishnu, Vishnu. There should be a slight gap between the teeth for forming that sibilant or fricative sound. I give an example here, an English example, as the T in the English word nation for this retroflex sibilant, sh, and that's a pretty good example. I think when to say that word in English, nation, typically we do not close the teeth fully together, nation, so that would be the sound we want then for that retroflex sibilant, sh, as in Vishnu. So remember, accent mark over the top, teeth fully closed together, as in Shiva. Dot underneath the letter S means it's retroflex and it's sh, as in Vishnu. This next one is just simply the character S, the English letter S, and it's pronounced in fact exactly like the English letter S, as in sun, and I don't even give any Sanskrit example. Oh yes, I do. It's not much to it, but I'll give the Sanskrit example. Sumadhuram, Sumadhuram. It's just like the English letter S. The last one is written with the English letter H, and it's pronounced like the English letter H. Not much to it, very simple. I don't even give a Sanskrit example. So that concludes the sibilant class of consonants. Well, next will be the final class of consonants, known as the semivowels. The semivowels are found here, and the first semivowel is written with the English letter Y. It's pronounced, it falls into the palatal group. It's pronounced just like the English letter Y, as in yes. Not much to say about that one. The next one is written with the English letter R, and it falls into the retroflex category. This one we have a little more to say about because it's not like the English letter R. What do I have written here? It's pronounced as the R in the Italian word Roma. Notice how I'm flipping my tongue against the roof of my mouth, throwing the tongue up against the palate of the mouth, just as I did previously for that short vowel R. Remember the R with the dot underneath it? We covered in the first four short vowels. Now we're coming into a letter which is very similar to that, except this one is a consonant. It does not have a dot underneath it. It's just the English letter R, and it's a consonant rather than a vowel. The first one was a vowel, and it falls in the retroflex category. Remember, the retroflex category is the category where the letters are formed by the tip of the tongue curled back, touching the palate or the roof of the mouth in this position. So this one is in that category, so we're going to flip the tongue back into that position to form this sound. As in the R in the Italian word Roma, it's a pretty good example, pretty good approximation. Or the Spanish word para, that's pretty close also. Or as in the Scottish pronunciation of R, think of a Scottish person saying rubbish, rubbish. They flip the tongue, they throw the tongue against the roof of the mouth to say that. So that's the way you should say this R letter whenever you see it, not like the typical English pronunciation of R, which has the jaw tightly closed and restricting the It looks like that when someone says it, It's not like that. There's no in Sanskrit. The jaw is left loose, and the tongue is just lightly thrown against the roof of the mouth. Ra, 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 ra. Hopefully you can see my tongue there. Ra, ra. See if I give a Sanskrit example. Yes, I do. Suravaravarshini Durdhara. I'll do that again slowly. The example is right here. Where is it? Yes. Starts there and it continues on the next line. You can follow along on your own paper there. Suravaravarshini Durdhara. Again slowly. Suravaravarshini Durdhara. Notice you don't hear any English R sounds in that. I'm just lightly throwing the tongue against the roof of the mouth. Suravaravarshini Durdhara. Like that. Okay. I forgot to aspirate my last "da" in Darshini. Did anyone catch that? Are you paying attention? Okay, forgive me. The next semivowel is la. It's right there, written with the English letter L. And in fact, it sounds just like the English letter L, so there's not much to say about that one. The last semivowel, and in fact the last consonant in the Sanskrit alphabet that we're going to cover, remember we're only covering the main 46 characters, but the last of that group is written with the English letter V, and it falls into the labiodental category because it involves both the lips and the teeth, so labiodental, and it's actually pronounced, what do I have written here? It's pronounced as a cross between the V in vase, or vase if you're English, and the W in when. So somewhere a cross between V and W. Wa, wa. If you can imagine doing a little bit of both of those sounds, then you have this wa of Sanskrit. And some Indians will make it sound more like V, and others will make it sound more like W, and some will make it sound somewhere in between. So that's what it is. It's somewhere in between, really. I've heard that the Germans, when they say the W in this word here, which I'm not sure if I can pronounce, I think it's willkommen, or something like that, or maybe it's willkommen. I think it's willkommen. That is similar sound there. That W that they use is also a cross between a V and a W. The Sanskrit examples, which I'm much more confident about than I am the German example, it's Vani, Vani and Vishnu. Vani, Vishnu. You can watch my mouth when I say that. Vani, Vishnu. So I'm trying to make it a cross between a V and a W there. So that would conclude then all of the vowels. Oh, I'm sorry. There are two other characters. That concludes all of the letters, the regular letters. There are two more. They're not really separate letters, but they are what I'm calling special letters, and we'll cover those in the next segment.